Today's episode of Father Knows Food is brought to you in part by Signature City Properties. With over 35 years of experience, Signature City Properties, LLC has helped buyers, sellers, and investors achieve their real estate goals. More information is available by calling 720-480-8686. And by JSR Incorporated, a full-service television production company bringing modern life into full focus. 303-596-2207. And by viewers like you, thank you. Today's recipes and much more can be found at www.fatherknowsfood.com. Today it's all about family favorites, an alfresco dinner with the Reynolds clan, and there's a little something for everyone. Steamed artichokes with lemon paprika dipping sauce. What a great way to start a meal. I grew up on these and now my kids love them too. Steamed to perfection and served with a tangy sauce with a great kick. Chickpea and bell pepper salad. It's so easy to make but still has a great wow factor. Garbanzo beans and red and green peppers tossed in a light vinaigrette. Grilled lamb chops with rosemary and mint. You can't go wrong with these beautiful pops rubbed in an herby mixture and grilled just right for that amazing juicy bite. Strawberry meringue mess. Fluffy homemade whipped cream mixed with sweet strawberries and crunchy chopped meringues. Light as air and a real crowd pleaser. Family fun in the great outdoors. My full name is Peter Odell Reynolds, and my job title is Dad. I've had a lot of jobs. I'd have to say my favorite job of all of them is Dad. The pay is terrible, but it sure is rewarding. Is it yummy?
I did it.
You did it! Cooking for me is really cathartic. Listen to that sizzle. And I really, truly enjoy it. I enjoy eating food, obviously. Look at me. Well, my family likes to eat.
Delicious.
And it is total dysfunction junction every time we always get together as a family, but it's great, it's wonderful, wouldn't trade it.
I love food.
So I'm gonna steam these artichokes tonight for our party. Take about 45 minutes. You wanna cut the bottom end off. There's not a lot you can do with them. Sometimes if they're thick, you can shave them down and save that little white part on the inside. It's good to eat, but the rest of it is really just a little too fibrous to eat. They're gonna take about 45 minutes in the steamer. Behind me, I've got the water going with about 1 inch of water in that little tiny steamer basket. And they're done after about 45 minutes, but really you can tell when you can take one of these leaves down here and pull it out without any resistance. So they're stuck in there now, but once they're done, they're gonna be ready. So take a couple of these and get going. My kids, they love the artichokes, and I really think they just love the dipping sauce.
One more.
Which is fine, but they're getting however small a portion of a vegetable, or thistle really is an artichoke, but they're getting whatever they get out of it. My mom was always cooking artichokes, and she's always called it like a faux hollandaise, but really that paprika dipping sauce is just something that tried, and it's pretty darn good. My two kids, Colt and Dabney, who are 2.5 and 1.5 roughly. She's named after an old World War II pilot that my father and I were friends with that was a fly fisherman and taught me a lot about life. Colt is actually named after my dad. Long story short, my grandfather went to Stanford. He was a great football player. He played every minute in 3 consecutive Rose Bowls, and my grandfather's nickname was Horse. My dad went to Stanford, and my dad's nickname was Colt, and so we named Colt after my dad. As you can see, I brought the kiddos in. The artichokes are done. Now we're just gonna make the paprika dipping sauce for the artichokes, which is all they're really after anyways. So We're gonna go through this pretty quickly before I lose them. No smiling. It's just about a cup or so of mayo. So we're just gonna eyeball it. And we can get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. It's about the juice of a large lemon, maybe two, depending on how juicy. Pardon me, son. Just strain the seeds out with your fingers. Let's get you a fresh one. Let's get you a fresh one. Yeah.
Mom, you see baby.
Yeah, you got your baby. Cole, do you want to smell the lemon? Yeah, yum. So there's about a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon of paprika. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. I've made this sauce a mazillion times because we eat a lot of artichokes. And a good pinch of salt. You're gonna mix this up. You want it to be about the consistency of pancake batter. Colt, you ready? You're ready? That's about how you want it to look. Oh, you want more? All right, here you go, Dabney. We'll keep trying one. Yum. Well, the paprika obviously adds a little bit of smokiness. It's salty. You got the sour of the lemon, but it's really, really bright. Kind of takes away some of the sweetness and the heaviness of the mayonnaise. But this ought to easily serve 4 people. Obviously, once you get down to the heart of the artichoke, you take out the choke part itself, and my wife just dunks like a big donut in coffee, the heart of the artichoke, and grubs it. But you can see the kids. Oh, you don't eat the whole thing, son. Let me have it. Thank you. That is all Hollywood right there. You want some more? How is it, buddy?
No.
Is it yummy?
No, I did it.
You did it.
I did.
You did it too. Do you want some more, Colt? The lamb pops are something that, you know, a crown roast of lamb is obviously a beautiful dish, and most people cook it whole or cut it in half. I really think that the way to cook that is the way I do it. I think that the searing of the lamb really just kind of puts it over the top. They're good. I love them. So we're just going to keep taking all of this rosemary off and getting it ready to chop up for our paste for our lamb pops. In Colorado, we're really fortunate in that we have some of the best lamb in the world. It is delicious. It is bred for flavor. Australian and New Zealand lamb is bred for wool. We breed it for flavor. Chuck this, grab a knife, and we're gonna put this in a mortar and pestle, and we're gonna beat it to death and turn it into a really delicious paste. So just chop all this together roughly before you put it in there. Give yourself a little bit of a head start. Mint and rosemary really complement each other. They go together perfectly with lamb, and they're gonna make these things just sing. So get all that ready. Grab my mortar and pestle. A little bit of garlic, just 1 clove of garlic is all you need. It's raw, it's super powerful. Just take the paper off. All you gotta do is whack that thing once, and the paper will come right off. Put it all in there. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of each. And now we're just gonna smash it into smithereens and add a little bit of olive oil at the end. We're just gonna beat it up until it turns into a semi-smooth paste. You're not gonna get it completely smooth. Man, it smells so good, all these things together. So just about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. Mix it all around. It's gonna go great with the lamb. The reason I like these lamb pops so much is it is, in my opinion, the world's greatest finger food. You can literally pick them up, walk around a party with them, stick them in your mouth. It's about 1 or 2 bites a pop. And you know, you want to figure maybe 2 to 3 pops per person if you're serving it as a main course with lots of other stuff like we're doing tonight. But it is a really great recipe. I think that if you just follow these simple steps and let the ingredients speak for themselves, you're going to be happy with it. So I think we're just about there with this. You want it to kind of look like that. Nice, vibrant green color, deep green. So it's ready for the lamb. So we've got this beautiful Colorado lamb. It's crown roast, but we're not going to cook it like that. It cooks a lot better if you cut them up. So we're just going to cut in between the ribs, and you want to kind of be careful. Cut them into as even pieces as you can, but just cut down in between these guys. Set that one aside. Set that guy aside. This is going to be so flavorful. And this paste is really going to, you know, help with the flavor of the lamb. The lamb is really strong flavor, so you really need some other strong flavors to help balance it out. And these things are going to be delicious. Look at that. I sort of became the de facto grill master in my family because one Thanksgiving, my sister ordered a very expensive pre-cooked turkey, and we got it ready and had everything ready to go for Thanksgiving dinner, and we cut into the turkey, and it was raw. So in a pinch, because we'd already cut up this turkey, I had to go out and literally barbecue the thing, and so we grilled it up on Thanksgiving, and I've been grilling ever since. So every time I go out to a friend of mine's or my family's for dinner and we're having something grilled, I end up on the grill. And I actually like it, so not a problem for me. We're gonna go ahead and smear all of this stuff all over these little pops here. Don't waste any of this stuff, so just wipe that on there. And use your hands, you gotta use your hands, get in there. Put it everywhere. All the little nooks and crannies. Don't worry, make a mess, it's fun. We'll wash that later. And you want to hit everywhere that there's fat or meat, rub this paste on there. So I think we've got these little pops pretty well covered. We're gonna go for a quick wash. You guys ready to go grilling? All right, so let's do some grilling. So I've had the grill preheating for about a half an hour. It's good and hot, almost 550 degrees. You're gonna really hear that sizzle when these things hit the grill. And as soon as I get all these on, I'll show you an easy way of telling whether they're medium, well, rare, so on and so forth. Listen to that sizzle. That's what you want to hear. You really want to hear that thing sizzle. So now that these things are on here, this is an old trick my dad told me a long time ago. If you want to test if something's rare, medium rare, well done, pinch your fingers together and poke right there. That's rare. That's medium rare. That's medium. That's well done. It's an interesting way, but it works every time. So we're just going to let these things cook away, man. They are looking good. Good grill marks on those, nice. We're literally only cooking these for a minute or two aside. You can see if I'm poking down on these things, they're still pretty rare on the inside. We want to get them good and medium rare. Let that fat render out, it's going to be perfect. But these things are lean, so you don't want to overcook them. I'm flipping these things a couple times so I can get a really good char on the outside. That just adds so much flavor. Okay, these things are done, so we're gonna pull them off. We have to let them rest for a little bit before we can dive into them. Close this guy up. I became a stay-at-home dad because I'm a realtor and the market crashed. I've had a lot of jobs. I've worked on a ranch here in Colorado where I was a quote-unquote cowboy. I've also worked as a manager of a restaurant, and that's where I think my passion for cooking and experimenting with food really kind of took off. From then on, every time we'd go out to a restaurant or I'd taste something that I thought was particularly delicious, I would take mental notes of that and try and recreate that in the kitchen. We have dinner at home virtually every night of the week. I get to concentrate on something other than what my kids are doing, and I really truly enjoy it. The garbanzo bean salad was a dish that I had when I was a high school kid studying in Spain in Salamanca. Okay, so we're gonna make a garbanzo bean and bell pepper salad. Very few ingredients, just let the ingredients speak for themselves, and it is very tasty. So we've got 2 cans of garbanzo beans rinsed and drained thoroughly. Just gonna drop them in this mixing bowl. And then we're gonna have some green and red bell peppers. So grab one of each. Grab a sharp knife back here. We're just gonna core and seed these, chop them up into little bits, and add them to the salad. I use green and red bell peppers, A, because it looks beautiful, and B, because they add a ton of flavor. I know some people don't really like green peppers, but I love them in this recipe, so that's why we're using them. Make sure you get all the stems and seeds and cores out of these things. They're kind of bitter. And then we're just gonna cut them up into little bits that are about the same size as the chickpeas so that you get a little bit of everything in every bite. Doesn't have to be perfect, just chop them up and get them in there. Now, the first time I had this salad, I was living in Spain with a host family, and my host mother made this, and I've been making this recipe ever since. It's delicious. Can't believe how much flavor these few ingredients really add to the salad. So we're gonna get all this stuff in this bowl, and there are really only a few more ingredients. So just add a little bit of salt and pepper. And then you want to dress this right before you serve it, otherwise it'll get a little bit soggy. Just a little bit of olive oil. And then really just a splash of red wine vinegar. Just like that. Grab a spoon, give it a mix, and it's ready to go. As you can see, it's really just a beautiful salad. It's got all these colors in there, and it looks great just in a simple white bowl, and it takes literally no time to make. That's really it. I mean, there you have it. We'll give it a taste, make sure it's seasoned properly, and then we'll move on. Make sure you get a little bit of everything. That's awesome. Really crunchy, really flavorful, super simple, and takes no time at all to make. My typical day generally starts around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then it's straight beeline for the coffee maker. That is my best ally in the morning. I met my wife on a blind date, and it was the last blind date I ever went on. I don't think I hate being a stay-at-home dad by any stretch. I love being a stay-at-home dad, and I think I'm really lucky that I get to do that. The strawberry meringue mess is a dish that my wife had when she was traveling, and she made me make it. She does that actually with a lot of dishes. She goes and tries something and says, "You have to make this thing." So I'm making some whipped cream for our strawberry meringue mess, and it really is messy and it's kind of old school. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. A little bit of heavy cream, just a tiny little splash of vanilla extract. It's super powerful, so you don't need very much. A little bit of sugar, maybe a tablespoon or so. And we're gonna grab a whisk and just go to town on this thing. Start out slow. It'll come together pretty quickly though. I know this is super exciting, but it's worth it. You can also use a hand mixer. You can see it's starting to come together a little bit, thicken up. It's also important not to overmix this or else you'll just get butter. That's not good. Well, it is, but not for dessert. That, my friend, is a stiff peak. Don't waste anything. We're gonna get a couple handfuls of these meringues, just chop through them roughly. This will give a lot of texture. Grab a knife. And you want lots of different sizes, all over the place, so don't worry about making them perfect. Just like that, right in, right on top. Then we're gonna take these strawberries that are frozen and thawed. Take about that much. And this is, remember, strawberry meringue mess. So make a mess, it's okay. Chop them up into all different sizes, just like the meringues. Right on top. Okay, just give a quick rinse of my hands here. So grab a spatula. You want to make sure not to deflate this at all. So just slowly fold everything together. Get it all mixed in together. That looks pretty good to me. So, a couple more pieces here to the puzzle. I'm going to show you how we present this for dinner. Just take some of that. That's all right if you make a mess. Again, it's strawberry meringue mess. Just like that. Then we're gonna grab some chocolate. And we're just gonna shave little bits of chocolate on top. And this will blow people away. Grab your little vegetable peeler. And as much or as little as you like. I think a lot. And for the final piece here, we're just gonna take this little strawberry, we're gonna take the top off. We're just gonna cut little bits, just like that. It looks pretty and tastes even better. Of course, I gotta give it a shot here. Get a little bit of everything. That is so good and so easy. I'm going back for more. The chocolate is perfect. It really balances everything out, brings it all together. The meringues are a little bit crunchy but airy. Strawberries are beautiful, fresh. I am one of 7 kids. I have a younger brother and younger sister and 4 older brothers. Yeah, it's true. I actually got left at the airport, at Stapleton International Airport. My parents had taken all of us on a vacation, and they loaded up the van and loaded up all the bags and supposedly all of the kids and took off. And they had forgotten me in the middle of the airport. And I think I was probably 4 or 5, and they tell a story of me running down after the van to catch them. I think they actually had to go do a loop before they could come back and get me. Well, I love Colorado first and foremost because it has all of the things that I love to do. Fly fishing and skiing and hanging out with my family who all lives in Colorado. I mean, that's really why I love it here. With 7 kids, you know, people are always saying that we're kind of like the Von Trapps. And my parents actually made us take some horrible family photo that was a la the Von Trapps in Austria. So It actually was a good picture, but embarrassing. My mother is uber glamorous. My dad, you know, he's my mentor. He's my hero. He's, you know, taught me just about everything I know. Well, my family likes to eat.
Oh yeah, you better put.
And it is total dysfunction junction every time we always get together as a family, but it's great, it's wonderful, I wouldn't trade it.
Today's episode of Father Knows Food is brought to you in part by Signature City Properties. With over 35 years of experience, Signature City Properties LLC has helped buyers, sellers, and investors achieve their real estate goals. More information is available by calling 720-480-8686. And by JSR Incorporated, a full-service television production company bringing modern life into full focus. 303-596-2207. And by viewers like you, thank you. Today's recipes and much more can be found at www.fatherknowsfood.com.